Hey, what's going on, Periscope? Keith B. Dixon, it's official. You guys are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's the audio? Is the audio working out good for you guys? No echoes, right? Do we hear any echoes? Put in a Wi-Fi if the audio is good. My name is Keith B. Dixon. Welcome to the Kilo Bravo Delta Zone, you guys. It's official. Boy, I've got a good story for you tonight. This one photographer in 9 months generated 1.1 million viewers on YouTube. We're going to talk about that tonight, and we're going to look at his work. We're going to validate him as a photographer. Not that we need to actually validate him, but sometimes you read stuff and it's like, oh my God, is that really real? And so I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to share, my thoughts. And I was excited to see that because it just lets you know that if you put the work in the right way, you can do it. So we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. And then I'm going to show you just a little bit of how you can use Adobe Portfolio, to create images. We're going to walk through that really quick. Nothing real in depth, but just to wet your whistle, get you excited about using Adobe's new product Portfolio and the new CC Classic. I got to tell you, I love it. So I've been toying around with it, and there is a way you can actually, watch this because I love this. You can actually use subdomains so that you don't have the Adobe branding in there, and you can put something like portfolio.keithbdixon.com. So watch out. I'd be a little nervous if I was a lot of these other companies out there that were pushing websites right now, because the product integration is unreal. We're going to talk about that tonight. So welcome to the Kilo Bravo Delta Zone, you guys. It's real official. Guess what? On Saturday, the new 90PT platform is coming out. We're going to be talking about camera flash. I'm going to be covering the entire outside of the flash and all of the functions and features. I'm going to go into what TTL does, the history of TTL, and using manual. I'm going to share tips with you on how to use manual. That's going to be the 90PT, and then we're going to follow up the next week with 30-minute PTs. And in the 30-minute PTs, we're going to drill down some very specific features and how to get, that great light. Let's say you don't have a meter, right? But you got a little inexpensive softbox. We're gonna put it in motion. So if you guys see me looking at the camera, looking you dead in the eye, I can't see your comments. I want you to know that. That's important. I'm broadcasting onto YouTube, you guys, just so I can do it. I've got to get my YouTube up to speed. You guys, I've been working on just a lot of things, and that's one of them. That's my stepchild right now. So I'm gonna bring that up to speed, just like the Instagram. So we'll be getting there. And how many of you guys are actually in my Instagram feed right now? How many of you are in my Instagram feed? Throw up a Wi-Fi for me. Because, and here's the thing, I'm not going for big numbers, I'm going for engagement and conversation, you guys. And how many of you have actually seen that? Engagement and conversation in the Instagram feed. It's driving my clout score right now, which is beautiful. I'm the anti-numbers. So, you got big numbers, I'm the anti, right? I'm the anti-numbers guy. I think that you can have a great network with smaller numbers, more concentrated. But big numbers help. All right, perfect. So let me see names and locations. Let me see. Oh, Captain JJ is on the YouTube side. Let me see names and locations. There's Captain Antoinette all day. The game shooting can't type much. Okay, thank you. Thank you for logging on. Deborah from Elk Grove. What's up, Deborah? Yes. Captain JJ all day. He's doing double duty. Raynard, what's going on? Commander Amber, all the way from the D. What up, though? Commander Mike from the NC. Deb Davis from the D. Detroit is always representing on the scope, like all day, every day. You guys, you gotta love it. So, Calvin, he's shooting the game. And he's probably got an earpiece in. Glenn from Texas all day. What's going on? Appreciate you guys. So let's dive into this because I'm gonna shoot some nuggets at you tonight. Later on, you guys, it's gonna get real interesting. Later on, it's gonna be real interesting. Something completely different is gonna happen tonight at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. That would be 10:30 Central Time, and then 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. Me and Dr. Sims are going to get on. We're going to do something called After Dark, Moving into the Light. This is not photography related at all. And it really kind of plays to a lot of our background in terms of Dr. Sims and him being a PhD in theology, and me having a comms background and a human communication background. And we're going to talk about people, ideals on how to communicate, and relationships. We're going to tackle a lot of the issues that pop up. Like, for instance, I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean it like that. You're taking it the wrong way. All those challenges that we tend to have in communication, or not, fears in communication. We're going to tackle a lot of that. I'm even going to go as far as to talk about number 45. So this is way different. It's coming on late, you guys, tonight. This is a pilot that we're doing. It'll be on Facebook Live. Facebook Live. And I got to tell you, I'm kind of excited about it. It's a different format, and I've been dying to do this. You know what they say? When you get really successful at one thing, then you can start doing other things. If it doesn't work, you just kind of abandon it. I know that. So there it is. So I'm super excited about that, and I hope you guys are too. I hope you'll join me. It's going to be really interesting. I like Dr. Sims. He really kind of breaks it down. He keeps it elevator. And he really just kind of digs in. And sometimes I just like to, I like to ask him those tough questions. So between us both, thank you, Amber. Between us both, our goal is to basically try to improve the levels of communications that we all need. I need them, right? I have to work on me every single day. So I hope you guys find some value in that. Let's go. You know what? Let's dive into. I want to show you this before we actually dive into the Peter McKenna story, you guys. I actually want to. I want to show you this Lightroom situation here, and I'm going to switch over right now so you guys can. I'm going to take you over to Lightroom, and I really want you to see this. So here's you guys are familiar with Lightroom. I'm not going to go through the features. This is not going to be technical at all. I'm merely pointing some things out. There are other people out there that do this very well. And Terry White, for instance. So check them out. But here's what I want you to see in a nutshell. Here's my Lightroom. This is Lightroom Classic. And if you have a $9 subscription, you've got the same program. Plus Photoshop, plus Portfolio, plus the cloud-based system. So for $9 a month, I mean, that is unreal. They took the value out of they put the value in $9. I mean, literally $10 a month. Unbelievable. So watch this. Here's just some simple photos. I haven't synced this with the master catalog yet, but here are all my catalogs on the master, and here's my Instagram one that I synced, you guys. These are Instagram photos. These are just waiting in the winds. I'm going to post some of these. Some of these I've already posted, but these are my scheduled photos for Instagram. These are actually synced with the master catalog back home that's attached to a working. I'm going to call it a working drive. It's so many terabytes of information. And I go in and I pull out folders and add it to this pretty frequently. So in the master catalog, once I sync this up, there's going to be about 140 photos in here that I can choose from on a pretty regular basis. This is my workflow for my social media. This is how I get it done. And I go through here, and this is what I love about this. In this grid system right here, I literally will grab my phone. I have to do it on my phone because it kind of gives me a feeling of smartphone and social media. So I don't do a lot of social media off of my desktop, you guys. I know you might think, like, what, for real? Yeah, it's all done on the phone, everything. And I set it up beforehand. So what I'll do is I'll collapse these panels and just look for a photo that just kind of pops out based on how I'm feeling that day. Like, you guys saw me post this photo right here just recently, yesterday. I was feeling it. And I actually included this into the archive about 2 weeks ago, but I just wasn't feeling this particular thing, so I didn't do it. So you've seen a lot of these photos. Here's one. This is actually up north near Fort Bragg. I'm just looking for the inspiration to write a quote for that. You know, this road leads into nowhere. I don't know. Something will come to me and I'll put it in here. I like to use my own photos because I don't want to run into any copyright issues. I want it to be original, want it to be artistic. And this is how I basically drive social media. So that's one that you guys haven't seen on there. And then let me see what else. I don't think you've seen this one either. Let me see here. There's quite a few. Oh, here's another one. Boat picture, right? I don't know if I may have done that one and didn't post it. Our state capitol building. So there's a bunch of photos in there. Well, here's where it gets kind of interesting. Let's say I really didn't have the financial resources to have a website. One of the things that I could literally do is take these photos into the Adobe cloud-based system. They're there. They're already there. And create not only a portfolio, but a photo delivery system, all for $9. I think that's pretty amazing. And let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at it. So I'm going to go back to where it is. Now, you know, I have some windows open already, but let's go to the portfolio. So here's the end game right here. Now look, this is not like some super fancy bells and whistles. This is straightforward, hardcore, get it done website presentation. And that's what you need sometimes, because the people that are looking at your content, remember what I said about me doing my social media on the phone constantly? Well, guess what? If your website is really simple, guess what? It's going to work for people who are looking at it on their phone. And here's the thing. We call this responsive. This is web responsive. Look, watch this. Look at that. There's an iPad. There's another device, and another device. So no matter what they're on, it just works. And that's important, you guys. So these are some photos that were vetted out for me. And the thing that I'm thinking about now is when I present a portfolio, when someone will ask on the fly, and I just want to show it, or I'm teaching a class, whatever the case may be, I need to pull up something other than my website. This is going to be the alternative. Maybe I'm doing street photography, because this is easy to update, you guys. And then here's how it looks. This is the behind the scenes. And as you can see, you see these categories, these haven't synced yet, but these are all images that I've shot that I feel represent my photography over the years. And I have them categorized. I even have pictures of me, because when I'm speaking, they will ask for photos. And the thing that I have another delivery system for that, but I want to be able to provide people, like if they need something on the fly super quick, I can do it right off my phone. Boom, right there. Landscape photos. I had one, Lynn's Baby supported me at one time, so I was shooting images for Lynn's Baby. That was my Lynn's Baby collection. Street photography, White House custom color, or white wall collections. This is a lab over in Germany that I was doing some work with, and as you can see, there it is. And then there's those Instagram photos that I'm basically gonna push out to a portfolio. Now, here's the portfolio, the mechanics behind that. And what I did is I set up a subdomain. It's really easy to do. If you have a domain, you can go in and create a subdomain. You're just going to put a dot in front of your initial domain. So keithbdixon.com, what you would do is put a dot in front of that and add the sub. And you can do that just about on any service. It's real easy. And then you set up the DNS. You go in and you put it in. So I'm going to create portfolio.keithbdixon.com. And that's how we're going to rock with that. So it's just really easy to use, you guys. Real simple. Does that sound easy? Does that sound real easy to do? Real simple to use? If it is, you guys, I want you to put in, let's go 2.2. 2.2, you guys. 2.2. 2.2. All right, fantastic. All right. Are there any questions right now that you guys want to pop in? And if you have technical questions, the thing that I'm going to recommend you do, I'm looking at your comments here. The thing that I'm going to recommend you do is go in and take a look at some of Terry White's explanations and presentations on how to use these products. He does a really good job at it, and I think you will definitely benefit from it in some type of way. So if you're struggling in terms of just, should I get a website? I don't have time to do it. This is going to be the easiest way. Is this making sense? Do you think some of you guys would actually use this feature? Put in a Wi-Fi if that's the case. If you're thinking, you know what, I would definitely use this, I see the benefit in it, let me know, because I want to make sure that I'm providing you guys with some really good information in terms of things you can actually use and do. This is $9. They also have a $49 package as well. All right, perfect. Fantastic. All right. So as you guys know, let me just go back because I want you guys to really. So tonight, you guys, we're gonna do something super new, super different, and it's called After Dark: Moving into the Light. Not photography related at all, and we're just gonna talk about communication. Not photography related at all, and. So I want you guys to, the reason why I think it's important is because if you're going to be an entrepreneur, communication is going to be one of the biggest things you are going to do. You have to be able to communicate. You have to be comfortable with people. You have to be comfortable with conflict as it happens, the whole 9 yards. So this is completely different than photography, but closely related to how we do business as entrepreneurs. So that's going to be tonight, 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. All right. So, here we go. So let's talk about this photographer who did this is insane, 1.1 million viewers in 9 months on YouTube. And let me bait you in a little bit. Let me give you some thought bait, right? Some thought bait to get you really excited. He's a photographer. I looked at his work. His work is pretty creative, and the interesting thing about it is it's well produced, and he's making about estimated $13,000 a month in ad revenue, right? I don't know. Nobody really discloses how much they make, pretty accurately. People kind of fluff that up a little bit. It's just always happened that way. But looking at the content of the video and how it's produced and the quality of it, I'm going to say he's pretty close, give or take, plus or minus 15%. So here it is right here. Let me bring this up so you guys can see it. So here we go. Here's the article right here. How photographer Peter McKenna got 1 million YouTube subscribers in 9 months. And you guys can find this at news.fstopitnow.com. So newsfstopitnow.com. You can find that there, and you can also subscribe. This is a daily that I put out. It comes out at 10:30, and this is why I like it, because I get to see stuff like this. Now, I was really excited. I'm excited for him. Yes, I do wish that was my paycheck, but it's his paycheck, and he worked for it. But I'm excited. I'm excited from a social media standpoint that this was even possible, because things come and go so quickly. It's almost it's just almost unbelievable sometimes. You think it's a fluke. So here he is, and I've actually seen some of his videos, you guys. Let's take a peek at it and see what's happening here.
Hello guys, what is going on, and welcome to the first episode of YouTube Masterclass on my channel. In this series, we take a look at successful YouTubers and analyse what exactly they have done to get ahead of the game. This episode is all about Peter McKinnon, so without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So for the very small minority of you guys who haven't already seen his content all over the YouTube homepage, Peter McKinnon is a Toronto-based photographer and videographer, with his video content obviously focusing around these two art forms. But why should we be paying close attention to his YouTube success? What do I think qualifies him as a digital entrepreneur? Well, first off, let's take a look at some of the numbers. Peter has only been uploading on a regular basis for 9 months. In that time, however, he has achieved exponential growth. At the time of recording this video, Peter's channel stands at a whopping 1.1 million subscribers, along with 40 million views, 6.5 million of which have come in the last 28 days. In terms of revenue generation, using a pretty conservative CPM of $2, Peter could easily be clearing $13,000 a month from ad revenue alone. On top of that, his videos are often sponsored by companies, he sells his own preset packs, and he has Amazon affiliate links in the description of all his videos. So, as you can see for yourself, Peter has built a very effective business model around his main passion in life. It's pretty clear to me that while he definitely enjoys making videos, he's also a very astute YouTube entrepreneur. In a recent Q&A video, he even cited being able to work for himself as one of the main reasons he started YouTube in the first place.
Experience. Okay, so each of you has 20 seconds to answer this question. What inspired you to start making YouTube videos?
Yeah, I started because it was a way and a means to start working for myself.
But the burning question is, how did he do it? First off, I think it's important to outline the 3 steps required to grow an engaged YouTube audience, before explaining later on the methods and strategy used by Peter himself to maximize the effectiveness of each of these steps. Step 1 is all about gaining that initial attention. How are people finding you? What methods are you using to drive traffic to your videos and channel? Step 2, providing quality content. Are you providing these potential subscribers with content that will bring them benefit? For example, learning a new skill, or simply entertainment value. This step is what converts views into subscribers. Step 3, growing relationships with your audience. How are you creating a personal connection with your audience? How are you making...
Okay, you guys, you know what? I totally agree. I'm in total alignment with everything that they just said. It is, this is social media basic, fundamental. Matter of fact, if you're attending Nashville and you're going to see my presentation on social media, a lot of what they just said is the structure that I lay out. It's a little different, but I got to tell you, it's pretty amazing. This is textbook 101, and it's got to be interesting. Any content that you use on a regular basis, anything that you do, it's got to be interesting to people. And in the end, he really kind of talks about relationship and building a relationship, and I think that's why it's so successful. Now, I will tell you, I'm going to switch back because I want to show you this so that you can see the magnitude of it. I'm going to switch back so you guys can see this. If you look at, here is his actual YouTube page. It's YouTube perfect. It's YouTube perfect. The uploads, this is everything that I've actually studied about YouTube. The tutorials that he has right here. You see the tutorials, his vlogs, you know, where he's talking about himself, or, you know, you see him out and about where he's, you know, just, you know, look at the personal touch. Meet my wife. 1 year in the making. First time shooting this. I never thought I'd get this. This is his way of personally connecting with you so that when you finally meet him, you could say, you know what, I really have a feel for you. Even as another broadcaster, if I was to go through and watch these and I met him, there would be this instant connection just on that level alone. And then he would feel comfortable and I would feel comfortable because hopefully he'd say, you know what, Keith, I watch your Periscopes. And that's where the relationship starts, you guys. That's where the networking starts. And as opportunities pop up, you know, he might be speaking somewhere and say, do you know a photographer who does this? And he was like, yeah, I know this guy, Keith B. Dixon, whatever. And then that's how the opportunity happens. And if you were on my broadcast this morning, you heard me talk about Carlos Gil, and he mentioned, how many of you guys actually went on and looked at Carlos Gil's Instagram, his Instagram stories? Did anybody do that? Be honest now. I'm going to give you a couple seconds. Did anybody do it? You know, don't feel bad if you didn't. The thing is, remember what I said this morning about a lot of people will do, a lot of people won't. You know, a lot of people will just ask, how do I get it done? But they'll never really watch through something. They'll never follow through something. And that's the one thing I do love about our community is people are hardcore watching and taking notes and learning. I mean, I have people calling me, DM me all the time and said, hey, I got notes from last year. But go on Instagram and do a search for a guy by the name of Carlos Gil and look at his Instagram story before it expires. This is the same thing. This is the formula, you guys. And all I'm doing is validating it. It's real. This is real. Now, he does something called 2 Minute Tuesday. 2 Minute Tuesday. 90 minutes of photography training, you guys. 30-minute PT, 10-minute PT. You know what? You've got to understand that people don't have a lot of time. They're trying to cram. We live in that society where everything is happening all at one time. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing how things happen. So 2 Minute Tuesdays, the popular uploads, the quality. Let's look at the quality of the video. I'm not going to play like a lot of it, but let's look at the quality of one of his videos. I think this is a good one right here.
It's final exams week, and that means two things. The library is packed, and I'll be writing papers. Lots of
It's final exams week, and that means two
those
things.
papers,
The
they better be
library...
free of typos. Grammarly is my secret weapon.
Yes. Tea just wasn't cutting it. Back to coffee. It's 2 Minute Tuesday. Let's go. Alright, first things first, I bought something new today. That's what we're talking about. Let me go open it up real quick before we throw that timer on the screen. Okay, welcome back to yet another 2 Minute Tuesday. So great to have you here. And today's topic, we are discussing microphones. The best ones to use for your vlogs, the ones that I use for my vlogs, and my kind of on-the-go, on-the-run, guerrilla-style filmmaking videos. Not so much your tutorial boom mic stuff, but more so on-camera microphones.
What do you guys think? What are your thoughts? I mean, you see it's well produced. It's clean. The lighting's good. Everything about it is just textbook 101 perfect, you guys. This is how people are making money, you know, outside of just doing the craft. I mean, I'm sure getting a check from YouTube is going to allow him to be more creative in his own personal work. And I think as artists, you know, we have to do that. Sometimes we do it through social media, you know, getting paid through social media so that we can go out and, you know, tackle a personal body of work and then come back and present that. So it's like you're living off of the thing that you're making money off of, and then you're using that money that you're living off of to basically create, you know, your own personal work. And I think that's what artistry is really about. So is this making sense for you guys? Is this making sense? If it is, I want you to put in 7.7, and we're going to get up out of here. Definitely go through and look at the his videos, look at the social media. If you're interested in YouTube, yeah. I mean, this is clean. There's a lot of people out there, but this is definitely a very clean production, and I think it's very useful. And you know, it's funny. This is the kind of stuff I look for. You know, if I want to get a microphone, or I want to get a certain type of something audio, I'm looking for those professional vloggers. And hey, what the heck are they doing? What are they using? How are they doing this? How are they using these Adobe products? I mean, those are things that I look for. So definitely a welcome. So great job. The only thing that I want you to know, I don't really have anything I'm going to say counterintuitive to this. But to be objective, the only thing that I see is, you know, he's a professional videographer, and they call videographers photographers. Now, I don't know if he's a still photographer, you know, but I can tell you he's definitely a professional video guy, and that it means that is all the world of a difference. You know, if you're not a professional video person, there's no way you're going to be able to produce this quality of work. And he's also good behind the camera. The difference between me and him is, you know what, I'm more comfortable live streaming than I am recording a video. So he might not be a really good live streamer. It's an art form either way. So you have to figure out what you're really good at. And, you know, you got to get in your lane and just drive really hard. I mean, that's the bottom line. So this is the wave of the future in some form or fashion. And as you can see, product reviews are, you know, it's nothing new. There's a lot of guys out there, a lot of girls out there that do product reviews. Just how well produced is your product review going to be? And how are you going to, because once you produce it, so you conceive it, you produce it. Now, how do you get it out there? And this is the format that I'm going to talk about in Nashville. And once you understand what it is you need to do, the platform will be really irrelevant, because you'll already know this is the platform that I need to be on. If he tried this on any other platform, it may not be as successful. So is this making sense for you guys? Is this making sense? Do you see where I'm going? You see how it makes sense? If you do, drop in 8.8 for me, and then we're gonna dive out of here, you guys. And I'll be back at 8:30 on Facebook. We're gonna do a deep dive on communication and working through things. So if you're looking for a way to improve on, you know, how you network and how you talk to people, maybe you're struggling. I don't know what the case is. You know, you'll have to find an answer in the information that suits you and apply it, you guys. Let me see 8.8. I'm also broadcasting on YouTube Live. Thank you. I appreciate you guys over here. Joseph, Glenn, you guys, thank you. I definitely have to get better at doing YouTube. I haven't figured out a strategy for it, you guys. It's really low on the priority list right now. But what I am excited about is Instagram and the traction and what's going on over there. So be sure to follow me on Instagram. As you know, everything is at Keith B. Dixon, and my Twitter feed, obviously, as well as Periscope. On Periscope, we're reaching right about 19 million, and we just went over the 2,000 person, I'm going to say subscriber count. People that are subscribed to this broadcast is now over 2,000, and I'm excited about that. And it's all just been, and going through the feed, there's a lot of good people that have signed up for it. A lot of good subscribers, you guys. So any questions before we get out of here? Any questions? 18.8 million. I would have never thought. You know, I started with one heart. Literally. And it's all organic over the last 2.5 years. So it's taken 2.5 years to get these 18 million hearts, and it's consistent broadcasting. And as I mentioned, I am thinking about changing up the format in terms of the broadcasting times, and I know that that's going to affect a lot of you, but change is on the horizon for sure. And we just have to figure it out, because I want to be able to do this type of broadcast, and because I can deliver more content, and I can deliver it more efficiently this way, so that you guys can not only see it visually, but you can comment on it and do all the things that you normally do, but you just get that visual aspect of it, which I think is important when you're trying to teach anything. All right, thank you for tuning in. My name is Keith B. Dixon. I will be on Facebook Live approximately 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. We are doing, and here it is right here, you guys. This is going to be a departure from photography. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. This is going to be a departure from photography. We're going to be talking about just communication. I think it's important in terms of people, you know, really need to understand how to communicate. And the thing that sparked this for me was I think it's just a lot of the drama and that's going on in our country. That's what really sparked it for me. And it's sometimes it's really hard for me just to kind of stand on the sidelines. I've never been that kind of person to stand on the sidelines and say, you know what, that's their problem, or it doesn't affect me. I've never been that type of person. So, number 45 said something to, and here's where we're going to go. I'll give you a precursor to it. Number 45, the so-called commander-in-chief of the United States, made a comment about a soldier who was killed in action. And there's a lot of ways you could take it. You know, most people were super ultra sensitive to it, and they should be. I mean, it's almost shocking that, you know, the president would say something like that. But, you know, I've been following that story all day, and I heard a soldier call up, and he preferenced it. The way he preferenced his statement, I thought was masterful. He says, you know what, this is my first time. I'm a little nervous. He called a radio show. I'm a little nervous. So please bear with me. I'm not a supporter of number 45, and I am a retired military person just recently. And he says, and he gave this, and I don't want to say what he said because I don't necessarily agree with it, but I think the way he explained why number 45 would have said something like that. And it, you know what, it really kind of made sense, because he's a poor communicator, as we can see. He's not very good at communicating. He's not very sensitive. There's not a lot of etiquette going on. It's almost like, you know, he's in a pool hall and he's shooting a game of pool, and it's being transmitted to the world. And that's how the president of this country is. Yes. No empathy. Doesn't have, I mean, so this soldier basically gave this explanation that just really said, you know what, maybe he meant in his mind that, you know, this is what he knew he was signing up for, and this was a potential. Is it right? No, I don't agree with it at all. But the way he presented that argument, it just kind of gave me balance, I think. Although I don't agree with it, it created balance, because it's so lopsided. You know, one person can't be wrong all the time, but this guy is taking us down that path. You know, yeah, I agree. No, I totally agree. And I heard some very ridiculous excuses. At the bottom line is the office of the president is traditional, you guys. It is traditional. And you know what? I don't want to break tradition. I not in that office. You know, I just don't. So anytime he says anything like that, I mean, I was in tears just looking at that girl. Like, how could you say something like that? We're going to talk about that tonight and what it means. And I want to tell you, I'm going to be ultra objective. You know, I always believe there's just three sides to a story. But when there's a pattern of disruption, right, that three sides kind of goes out the window. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Yes. Maybe that was his stab at trying to be emphatic. I don't know. We're going to talk about that tonight. So that's going to be the show, you guys, tonight at 8:30 with myself and Dr. Sims. And one of the reasons, let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Sims. He is a very... he doesn't say a lot of negative things about people, no matter how bad they are. He's not very negative about people. He doesn't make excuses for them, but you know, he has an eloquent way of you know, talking about someone who is terrible in a great way, and that's why we're gonna have him on tonight, and I'm gonna test it. You know, we'll probably push each other on these issues. So, yeah, he is. He's very upbeat. Yep. Patterns 45, his character. Oh, yes. His character is terrible. I mean, some of the things, and you know, let me be totally transparent, because, you know, I read a lot of Donald Trump's books. I've read a lot of everything that he's written, I've read. And, this is before he kind of got in trouble with the bankruptcies, and, you know, he was steamrolling ahead. The problem I had with him, because initially I was thinking this guy might be just what we need. That's what I really thought initially, until he got up there and he started talking. He started making personal attacks, and they were just ridiculous. I backed off. I was like, oh, no. I would never support that. And that's where I had to change of heart. So we're going to talk about that. Sometimes that is a method for people in their communication, is to personally attack you. And sometimes they don't even know that they're doing it. It's just a way. You know, they say something personal about you. And we're going to talk about that tonight. So anyways, there it is. You guys, we're going to dive into this, and I'll be engaging your conversation as well. You know, if you put a comment on, we're going to make it happen. Now, one of the reasons why I chose Facebook is because typically it doesn't have a lot of trolls, you guys, and trolls tend to get on. There's no cussing, fussing, slipping, and tripping. I don't think I'd ever do a broadcast where, you know, I'd be comfortable with people cussing and, you know, just being, you know, super silly. So it's not going to be that platform. I mean, we're going to do this in the most professional way. So there it is, you guys. Here it is, 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to get up out of here. My name is Keith B. Dixon. This is how I rock day in and day out. This is the Kilo Bravo Delta Zone, the 7705 broadcast, you guys. Look, there's a lot of possibilities for making money out here. Thank you, Daryl. I appreciate that. You just have to figure out the kind of work you're going to put in and where you're going to put it in at. You guys, let's go. I'll see you 8:30 on Facebook, and I guarantee you'll enjoy it. You will enjoy this show that we're going to put on for you tonight. Peace.